it's Tina and I'm back, and I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. Hopefully you're doing better than me, okay? Hopefully you're doing better than me. I got sick. Ooh, child. The last video that I filmed, I was like, all right, I have this video to film. I have this idea. I'm going to do all these videos. And then guess what? Your girl got sick. Your girl got sick. She got the flu. Influenza A took me down. And everything that you've heard about that flu is correct. I was down for the count. I'm still recovering. You may hear it in my voice. I still have not gotten my voice back. Okay? So I'm dealing with influenza, being 9 months pregnant. I'm officially 9 months pregnant. So guess what that means? In addition to being sick, I couldn't take anything. The only thing I could take was Tylenol to get my fever down because I had a fever for 5 days straight. It was a low-grade fever. I was like hovering around 90, 100, so it wasn't too terrible. But the chills, the sweating, the fatigue, girl, took me down. Took me down, down, down. And there's a cough that lingers. Don't get this. Do not get it. It's not fun. Oh my God. And I avoided it. I haven't gotten sick this whole time. You know who got me sick? Guess who? Yep. The father of my child got me sick. But we're not going to dwell on that. We'll talk a little bit more about that during this Get Ready With Me because I'm over it. I want to play in makeup, okay? I don't want to leave you guys hanging for too long. I've already done that, and I want to get back into I literally want to get back into the swing of things, but I was so tired. Oh my God, what? So tired, but I'm back. I'm doing a Get Ready With Me video. We're using all kinds of new products, okay? I had to get my hands on some new products, try them out for you guys. Not everything is new, but a lot of it is new. Let's talk about the things that are new. The Victoria Beckham quad that I'm wearing on my eyes. She reformulated her eyeshadows. I picked one up because I'm nosy. I love the color story, and I just bought 2 of the other ones, the older ones, and I saw that they're on sale because they're reformulating, and I was like, I want to try that because Victoria Beckham is one of those luxury brands that makes really good products, and I feel like they're not like non-stop launches all the time, so I feel like there's a little bit more thought and effort put into releases. So I grabbed that. All right, then we also have the Newer Beauty liquid bronzer contour. Hey, so I fell in love with the one from KVD Beauty, but it took a backseat because it's KVD Beauty. You know, so when I saw this, I was excited. I was like, I'm gonna try this, and the price point isn't too bad. So we're gonna try that out in this video. I also have the new Singe brushes that we're gonna use. These were sent to me in PR, but we're gonna try them out in this video. I'll give you my thoughts. Kosas, oh my God, so Kosas also released these new color correctors. I think they're like under eye brighteners, whatever. So I love the Kosas concealer. It's one of my favorite concealer formulas. I have just been loving it, enjoying it. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, if I'm gonna get an under eye corrector, which I think they're gonna be more launched, but neither here nor there. I said, let me try these out. So we're gonna test these out in this video along with the Urban Decay blushes. These are the new Face Bond Blush Suedes. I picked up 2 shades. I used one of them in this video, so you'll see that in action. Guess what else we're trying out? A silly little purchase from Lisa Eldridge. This is the Pinpoint Concealer. You're probably like, girl, how did you use that? What is that for? You will see, stay tuned. And we have the About Face. Ooh, am I drooling? Oh, no. I drooled a little bit. Oh, girl. We have the About Face powder. This is the Curtain Call Set and Smooth Loose Powder. So we're testing this out. And I think that's it. I think that's everything. Oh, new lip product too from Lisa Eldridge. It's not new. It's just new to me. It's the Melting Balm. But all those products are going to go on my face. We're going to talk about them. We're going to kind of do a quick review because I've used them before so I can give you my thoughts. Oh, we also have this new moisturizer from Estee Lauder. I like trying out skincare in these videos. Let me know if you want me to leave them out or keep them in. Like, what do you think about that? Because I feel like skincare is one of those things. I'm not a skincare enthusiast, but I like sharing skincare products when I pick them up because I find them fun, nice to use. So if you want to see how I did this look, chat with me, use some new products, get ready, do some fun things, then stay tuned and let's get right into it. All right, guys, so as usual, what are we doing? Starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. And I did fill in my eyebrows, but nothing else has been applied to my skin. And I wanted to start out with this lotion from Estee Lauder. It is the Nutritious Airy Lotion. And I happened to see this in store at Ulta, and I was intrigued. First of all, look at the bottle. It's like a bright candy apple red that then has a gradient. It's so pretty. And I tried it on the back of my hand and I kind of fell in love because it's as described. It's an airy lotion. And then I read deeper. It says it's for pores, hydration, and glow, right? And what made me even more intrigued is that it was sold out. It was sold out online. And I'm like, hold up, is Estee Lauder in the skincare game? Do I need to tap in? And I went ahead and ordered it. So I'm just gonna quickly read some of the key benefits and the key statements on the Ulta website while I apply this. I just got a couple of pumps on my fingers. And like I said, it's a lightweight lotion. So it's airy. It's almost like it's a whipped lotion. And let's talk about it. So as I mentioned, this is the Estee Lauder Nutritious Airy Lotion Moisturizer. It retails for $39, contains 3.4 ounces of product. Great for travel, by the way. So it says here, the airy lotion energizes with lightweight, delicate moisture, rebalances, refreshes, renews, skin looks healthier, feels blissful, overflows with vitality. That's a lot going on. So the key features, again, it hydrates and nourishes skin. It refines texture and minimizes the look of pores, reduces the look of post-acne marks, helps with redness. It's non-pore clogging, which means it's non-acnegenic, and it's suitable for acne-prone, sensitive-prone, and grumpy skin. It's a 92% naturally derived formula. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's infused with Estee Lauder's Nutri-9 complex, which includes sweet kelp, which helps to fight oiliness and minimize the appearance of pores, red algae ferment to soothe and reduce visible redness, and those two ingredients are responsibly sourced, coconut water ferment to hydrate and nourish the skin, and that's their proprietary ferment. All right, so as I said, I was intrigued by this moisturizer. I was like, talk to me nice. And I really like it. It is very lightweight. As I mentioned, the texture is a lotion, right? So it's lightweight, it's thinner, but it's not a gel cream. So it still has some slip to it. It does feel very hydrating, but that airy part of it feels like it's a whipped lotion. I don't know how they did it, but it just ticks all my boxes. It's lightweight, it absorbs quickly, it doesn't feel heavy on my skin at all. Like I can't feel it, but my skin feels hydrated. But yeah, this just feels good. It feels good on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. And I've used it a few times. It works well under makeup. So yeah, like this, guys, so far. All right, let's go ahead and do the eyes. The eyes have it. Hey, as I mentioned, we're using this new palette from Victoria Beckham. So these have just been released from Victoria Beckham. It's the new eye wardrobe, and they're discontinuing their original eyeshadow palettes. These were called the eye bricks. Different formulation, different packaging as well. They look similar though because it's still signature Victoria Beckham. Guess what? This guy, this new one, is $75 for the full component. So with the palette and the insert included. These are refillables. So when I purchased it, it actually came separate. So the eyeshadow insert itself comes in just a little plastic protector, and then the compact is separate, and you assemble them yourself. But you can get these for $50 if you just want to pop them into your regular magnetic palette, or you know, you want to buy just one compact and get a couple of the refills and swap them out. However you want to play with them, play with them. But I just bought one, so I bought the full compact, and it's magnetized, so it just snaps in like that. And you saw how easy it was to remove. The packaging, again, is still very similar to the older eye bricks, except that it's thicker. It's a thicker packaging, so these won't fit in the old packaging. So don't try to do that. Plus, the old packaging, these eye bricks were glued in, not magnetized. So you probably don't want to go ahead and break these unless you seriously don't care. But even so, it will fit in, but then it won't close. They are notorious for not closing properly. Like, there's something going on with the packaging. This is metal. It's very heavy, very weighty, feels luxurious, but they're notorious for not closing all the way. If you bend them too far back, it's too far gone. Forget about it. Not gonna close again. But I wanted to try this out. And so far, there are 4 options available, and they seem to be all smoky tones. This one is the most neutral of the color stories, but it's definitely smoky, which I don't mind. I actually do like smoky. There's a green palette, there's a blue palette, kind of running with the same theme as the previous bricks. And then there's like a smoky black one, which I have the old smoky one, and we'll probably utilize a shade from this. But this one is Victoria. The drawback for these is if you get multiples, the label now isn't on the back. It's on the back of the insert, which kind of defeats the purpose because it's on the back of this packaging. I don't like that, but for the refills, whatever, I don't care. Anyway, this is the little quad we're going to be using. I really like quads. I've been getting into quads and loving neutrals. I know. Me? Yeah, me. So let me do a little bit of concealing. I normally do this off camera, but I also want to use some of the new Singe Beauty brushes that were sent my way. And one of them is this little concealer brush. This is the E09, and it's great for kind of shaping the brows because of its precise shape. So I wanted to try them out and see if they work. I already have eyeshadow primer, which is my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion, but I always use a little bit of concealer under my brows just to define the shape a little bit. And I wanted to see if this brush could be one of my go-tos for doing this because of the shape. It has that precise concealer shape, but the bristles are a little bit longer, so they're not giving me as much precision as my other brush that I would use for this. Here's a Morphe one that I've been using. This is the M1304. This one's a little stiffer, so it gives a little bit more precision. But my favorite brush of all time to do exactly this is this little dingy one from the Makeup Shack. It is the T72. It's very stiff. Well, I shouldn't say it's very stiff. It's just stiffer than this brush here from Singe and even the Morphe one. So it works really well for precision. I'll still be able to use this Singe Beauty brush though, but it won't be my go-to. And honestly, I don't have another use for a brush like this other than creating that definition under my brow. So this brush is not gonna serve a lot of purpose in my collection. But if you were looking for a brush like this that's a little floppier, you'd probably use it for concealer of some sort, but it's not a very functional brush for me, just based on what I would use a brush like that for. So that one, not a fave, not an instant fave. But yeah, concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of priming as well, but we'll just skip through that quickly. Now, I already mentioned this in the beginning, but my voice, yeah, you hear that? I am recovering from influenza A still, even though it's been 2 weeks now, over 2 weeks, but ooh, girl, this little voice has not left. I'm fine though, I'm not still sick. No fevers, no chills, no nothing. Just a slight cough, and it's very like sporadic. It's not something that I'm consistently coughing, but every now and then there's a little cough. But girl, do not get that, okay? Do not get that. I was down for a full week with a fever. Full week. But it was a low grade fever. I was like 99, 100, but it didn't go above that. But when I tell you my body got hit, I was down for the count. Whole week, okay? I am talking about 7 days, full on week. The last 2 days, like the initial 5 days, I couldn't move, I couldn't eat. I was not available for anything, okay? I had no appetite. I just felt so fatigued. It was bad. I could barely eat. I lost 5 pounds, which, being pregnant, you won't want to be, you know, out here being sick. And I avoided getting sick this whole time. But my partner, he went ahead and got me sick. He went ahead. I was so mad because I'm not supposed to get sick. Hey, 9 months. We made it this far without getting sick. And I was heated. So mad that I was sleeping in a separate room. I was so mad. Plus, it's like I was coughing and getting up so often to pee. It was just, it was an ordeal. So I didn't want to sleep next to anybody. So I just slept in another room. But girl, it was bad. It was bad. And the voice is still like recovering. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, let's carry on. So the Victoria Beckham palette. Let's start out with the light shade here. Do they have names? Let's see, or just numbers. Are they just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3? Yeah, they are. Multi-finish, palette refill, 24-month shelf life, contains 7 grams of product or 0.24 ounces. I already told you the price of these, and this one is in the colorway Victoria. 3 of the shades are a little thinner, and then there's one big base shade. This one is like a matte beige, so we're gonna go in using the E08 brush. Are you good? Are you good where you are? This shade is a little bit darker than my skin tone and a little bit more on the neutral side. Definitely a smoky palette because that's the lightest shade in the palette. But for me, I don't mind because I like a smoky look. But I would probably want something a little bit more on the lighter beige side for me personally, but I can make do with this. I can make do. Then we have this darker brown. Let's use the same brush from Singe. This is like a flat but fluffy brush, so it's a little bit pinched at the ferrule, so it flattens it a bit, so it's almost like a shader brush, but then it's fluffier like a blender brush. So it's like a combination of the two styles, which will make it a very versatile brush. So you can use it to lay down color, but also to blend. So I think this is so far my favorite brush from the new extension. It's just a more versatile brush. Okay, let me tell you something about these eyeshadows right away. They are powdery. So you see the kick up in the pans just from picking up the eyeshadow. Bear that in mind. It's not giving me fallout on my face, so they're sticking pretty well, but there's just going to be some kick up in those pans. And this dark brown, I really like it. It's like a coffee brown. It's laying down pretty well and blending nicely. I don't have any patchiness. All right, you know what? I want to bring that over a little bit more on the lid. Just a little bit. Now there's also this rich charcoal brown in the palette, verging on like a blackened brown, and I'm going to grab the E10 brush. This is a smaller like bullet pencil brush, but it's a little bit larger. This one is rounded and it's gonna help with precision work. I know Angie, who is the founder of Singe, she loves small brushes. I don't know why. I don't think her eyes are small at all, but she likes precision when she does her eye looks. I prefer a larger brush, but for this purpose, like if I'm creating dimension in that outer V with like a darker shade to do like a smokier look, this precision comes in handy. So this brush is also one that I think is great, especially if you have smaller eyes. But if you do more of these precise looks where you want to add some smokiness without getting all over your eyes, then this is a good brush. So nice little addition right there. I'm just gonna go in with a clean blending brush and buff around the edges just a little bit because this is a smoky look. I don't want it to be too smoky. Okay, now let's go in with the final shade in the palette, which is the shimmer. So 3 mattes, 1 shimmer, and the shimmer, I'll tell you right now, is a dark smoky shimmer, and it's very reminiscent of the shade Mink in the lid lusters. They look almost identical. I swatched them out so you can see. So if you have Mink, just know that you're gonna duplicate the shade if you pick up this palette, but it is what it is. It's probably Victoria's favorite little shade, and it's a favorite of many people. So for them to include a very similar shade, it's not identical, but it's pretty close. You can see in the swatch, it's pretty close. And I'm using the Singe Beauty EO8 brush to apply this, and it picked it up pretty well, and it's laying it down pretty well. And I'm doing this because I just want to wash off color. I don't want it to be too intense. I think this is cute enough. The shimmer is not even that cute. It comes off a little satiny after you apply it with a brush, kind of buff it out. Let's see what Mink would look like. So like I said, the Singe Beauty brush is a little bit floppier, so you can use it for blending and like laying down color, but then you're gonna end up in the situation where you get more of a sparse application of the color. I just use Mink. So you see how Mink is just like a little bit shinier, like it has a little bit more shininess to it. But let's also try the one in the palette and see the difference when you kind of build up the intensity. It's a little bit darker than Mink, and Mink has a little bit more silver to it. Like the sparkle is a little bit more silver based. This is gonna give you a smokier look. Those are all the 4 colors. It's definitely a smokier palette. I did mention I would go in with one of these if I needed to. So let's use the last Singe brush, which is the E11. It's a smaller pencil brush than the other one, and I'm going into the smoky palette. Let's see if this is too much, because this is like a creamy white. It might be too much for me, and I might just need, well, we'll see. Do I need more of a beige or a tan? Boom diddy boom diddy bow. Let me do my highlight, which is the Sugar Pill. Any highlight, don't worry about what I'm using. And use a little bit on the inner tear duct. I don't know which side I like more, the Mink or the Victoria. I like both. And I like the smoky look because it's more of like a gray tone smoky. Yeah, I like this little palette, but manage your expectations. It's gonna be more of a smoky palette. All right, let me clean up the edge just a little bit and we'll start with our concealer. All right, so here you have the eye look. I went back in with Mink on this eye just to balance it out because you see Mink is just a little bit more sparkly. And then I added a little bit more of the dark brown just to darken up the look. But here you have it. And I did clean up under my eyes. It's not that there was fallout, There was minimal fallout, but I have so much darkness under my eyes. I was like, is that my under eye darkness or is that the eyeshadow? And when it comes to a smoky look, you kind of want to clean up. So I cleaned up, but minimal to no fallout, honestly, truly. And I'm going back to read what it says on the website. So it says it has a buttery, blendable formula, decadent, creamy textures infused with naturally derived ingredients and ultrafine pigments, buildable, silky, and easy to blend with no fallout. It's true, it's easy to build, easy to blend. I had no issues. Minimal fallout. I wouldn't say no fallout. There was just a little bit. But the major fallout I got was from Mink with a little bit of the sparkle, but just like a tiny bit. And considering that I didn't use like a glitter glue or anything, I think that's pretty good. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on the face. Starting out with some color correctors from Kosas. You know what, let's stay right here so you can see. So I grabbed 2 shades from Kosas. This is a newer launch. This has an extra long name for no reason, but on the tube it's just the Kosas Revealer Extra Bright Serum Powered Color Corrector. These retail for $32. There are 5 shades available. I picked up, this shade is not for me by the way, this is Magic, which is a pink, and it's for very light to light skin tones. You're like, why did you do that? I have a theory, okay? Since trying that ube powder, the birthday cake powder, ube birthday cake from Huda Beauty, I was like, does pink kind of work for my skin? Maybe pink is not so bad. So I picked up the pink. It's really bright though. It's really light. And then I picked up Fantasy. So this is Magic. Then I have Fantasy. It's peach for light medium to medium deep skin tones. The other shade was Alchemy, which is an orange peach for medium deep to deep skin tones. And I thought that was just too dark. These contain 0.17 ounce of product or 5.3. The concealer also retails for $32, but it contains more product at 0.2 ounce, which is slightly larger. But this formula, let me talk to you about the formula. I'm going to do some application while I read the info from the website, but just look at how it's applying while I'm reading all the details. I'm going to do the pink on one eye and then the peach on one eye. All right. So this one says it's a full coverage dark circle corrector, brightening and visibly depuffing serum in one. That's the fastest way to transform tired eyes. Highlighted ingredients are hyaluronic acid, caffeine, and dipeptide 2, which visibly reduce puffiness, acetyl tetrapeptide 5, which visibly smooths, firms, and diminishes visible signs of aging. It says this supercharged dark circle eraser with peptides fights the causes of under eye darkness, discoloration, puffiness, and visible sagging. It is creamy, blendable, and long wearing, no creasing or cakiness, safe for sensitive skin, and clinically proven to not clog pores or cause breakout. It layers perfectly with concealer. Their clinical results, which I take with a grain of salt, but it says it's proven to be long wearing and non-creasing. 100% saw a visible reduction of dark circles, under eye puffiness and fine lines, crow's feet and wrinkles, and 100% agree that this 2-step system visibly renewed and replenished under eyes. Now I applied this with a Singe Beauty brush, which is the F02. It's just an angled concealer brush. And as you can see, this product is pigmented, whether the peach or the pink. Very pigmented, very brightening, and a little goes a long way. You don't need a lot of this, which is the key thing that I noted. I don't need a lot of this, but you can blend it out. So you can blend it out to the desired intensity and you can layer it without issue. And I didn't see or feel any cakiness. There is some settling into my lines, which is why I'm like, creasing? What do you mean no creasing? Probably after I said it, but girl, I'm gonna get creasing because my lines are there, okay? The natural lines in my face, they're gonna settle into them, all right? But that's not a problem for me. Every single concealer or corrector product would do that, but it blends and builds easily. You can also use a sponge as I showed you, but I feel like the best application is with a brush if you want intensity. You can also probably use your fingers, but brightening, okay? And like with the pink, I said I wanted to experiment a little bit just to see, you know, how it would go. And obviously I'm not gonna wear this on its own. I'm gonna layer this with concealer because no way, okay? But I feel like with the peach one, I could almost use this as a concealer corrector together because it definitely lifts the brightness under my eyes. Now, this is not as creamy and emollient as like a moisturizing concealer. To me, it's a little drier. It's a little drier, which helps with the pigmentation and to really like get the color payoff, to really brighten the under eyes. And I low-key really like that. I think this looks great. You guys see the brightness. And I kind of prefer the peach side, obviously, because this is meant for my skin tone. But the pink looks ashy, but I'm gonna show you with concealer now what it will actually look like. And I'm gonna use my Revealer concealer. The shade I use is 8.10, which is the olive undertone, I believe. So I'm just gonna go right over. Yo, what the hell just happened? My applicator literally just popped off. No, ma'am. So you're telling me you're expired is pretty much what you're saying. I'm gonna keep rolling with it though. I'm gonna just try my best. I'm gonna do my best, girl. But what was it? I have a backup. But Kosas is known for their products not being very long lasting because they're a self-proclaimed clean brand. But I've never had that happen with any of my concealers or any doe foot applicator, period. Just falling off. Just falling off. Girl, this didn't just pop off a while ago. What am I gonna do? What am I going to do? But there it is with the concealer applied over it. So you see the concealer kind of blanks it out, covers up the corrector, but then the corrector still has that brightening, lifting effect. I'm telling you right now, I really like this. And between the pink and the peach, I can't see the difference once the concealer is down. So I feel like either way, you can't go wrong. If you wanted to add the corrector on top though, for that brightness, then definitely choose your right shade. And I think the peach for me, which shade is it called? A Fantasy, gives me that. So I can use this as a highlighter option. So like down the bridge of my nose or even under my eyes, but on top of concealer, it would still work. So you see how? Because the darkness lifted. I truly appreciate that. Let me smell this concealer because I'm gonna need to probably throw it out. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this concealer out. But you get it. So expired. I will use products straight through until they smell bad, and it doesn't smell bad, but it's definitely expired. And since that fell apart on me, yeah. I do like that concealer though. It's one of my favorites. All right, I'm gonna do foundation, but I'm gonna just zoom through this. I'm gonna use my About Face foundation because I'm gonna use their powder. So I figured, let me just use the foundation as well. Shades I have are D1 Olive and MD2 Olive. I'm just gonna mix these in, go about my business. We're gonna speed through it, like I said, and keep it moving. All right, so I went ahead, did the foundation, and I also applied mascara. And we have another new product. This one is a TikTok viral product that went viral before it even launched because of course the influencers were getting it and raving about it. And I think it's mostly because it's Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. Like, Rhode and Rare Beauty go viral without even trying, so it is what it is. But I wanted to try it. I ordered it right away because I was intrigued, okay? I already have a liquid bronzer in a similar type of packaging. Hold on. I grabbed it. It's from KVD Beauty, and this is their liquid gel contour. I love this little guy. I don't use it as much, and I don't know why. I think it's because it's the KVD brand more than anything else, honestly, truly. But I really do like it, and I like the application, so it gave me a chance to pull this back out. But this one is from Rare Beauty now, and it's not like innovative product necessarily, because we have liquid contours from Charlotte Tilbury. This guy, the contour one, yeah, with the little sponge applicator. Everybody and their mama has duplicated this. Elf has one, Tarte has one. So not new, nothing revolutionary, but this one is now in a bottle style packaging, similar packaging to Rare Beauty products, you know, the liquid blushes. They come in this little bottle with the ergonomic cap, which is just incidentally ergonomic. They didn't plan for this. It's just their style, okay, with the little ball on top. Easy to open. Cute, cute, cute. But it's a doe foot applicator rather than the little sponge tip applicator. I don't see one as better or worse than the other, truly. Either way, you have an applicator, all right? So this retails for $28. There are 7 shades available. I picked up the shade Serene, which is medium. It's the brown shade. There are, I believe, 3 shades deeper than this one, but this one just made more sense for my complexion based on the undertone. It's more of a brown, and the other shades were more gray toned, a little bit more red, and this one just seems to fit. So gonna grab this guy. Let's read what it says. It contains 0.5 ounce of product, or 14.88 milliliters. Again, retails for $28. It's a weightless, easy to blend liquid contour that defines and enhances for a naturally lifted look. It's a blendable streak-free formula that goes on evenly and seamlessly, defining your favorite features with the look of real shadows. The result is a naturally sculpted look that is never muddy, cakey, patchy, or greasy. It is made to last all day without fading. It layers beautifully under and over makeup. We have an independent consumer perception study of 54 people. 100% said it doesn't disturb makeup underneath. 98% said it glides on smoothly and the applicator makes it easy to apply. And 96% says it never looks cakey. Let's apply that to the hairline. So I'm just gonna apply it directly with the applicator. I think the ease of use of an applicator, yeah, definitely helps. A stick applicator or like a doe foot makes it really convenient. For a liquid, what other application would you use apart from a doe foot or the sponge tip? Maybe it would just be in a drippy container, like a squeeze tube or a pump. Then you'd have to do like another step to apply it with a brush. But this, you can do the same thing. Either or, yes, ease of use is there. Then they say it doesn't disturb makeup underneath. So let's see, we only applied foundation, so it's a liquid. I don't expect it to disturb makeup. It should just blend. Like, what are the claims here? Like, are the claims justified, or would any liquid product do the same thing? I guess if it picks product up, but I think that's more for cream products. If it picks product up. Oh, that applies and blends really well. This is not my first time using this, by the way. I used this before, and I'm using a Morphe brush. I have a video coming out with these Morphe brushes because I feel like, let's talk about it. And this is one of my favorite brushes from them. They had a similar brush with their foundation. They had a foundation back in the day, and I got a free gift with purchase. The brush came with it, and it was a similar style as this. But this works so well for blending contour and bronzer. And I think that applied really well. Let's do a little bit more for contour, because I didn't actually apply any for contour. Now, as far as the shades go, these are contour shades. But I think most brands are using contour and bronzer kind of interchangeably nowadays. Contour, you expect more shadowing. But I feel like a lot of people are using their bronzer shades for bronzing, and it achieves the same effect. Like, I prefer to bronzer. I don't want a gray product. I want a bronzy product, and I feel like it achieves the same effect on my skin tone, you know? So I don't want a gray, but some people, depending on their undertone, if they're more neutral, more olive, even more cool tone, they're looking for more of a gray. So this might end up being a liquid bronzer or a liquid contour. And brands are just leaning into whatever is viral at the moment, whatever is the new trend. And I think contouring is the new trend, so they're just gonna go with contouring. But depending on the shade, it could be a liquid bronzer or a liquid contour. And that applied and blended beautifully. Beautifully. Like, it has color. It's not overly pigmented like their blushes, because I know a lot of people complain about the pigmentation of their blushes. I think this applied really well. Didn't disturb my foundation. Didn't expect it to. Applied exceptionally well. I like it. What do you guys think? And it's a very subtle and beautiful shade, so it's not overwhelming. You know, it blended in. Gave me some dimension, because my face is no longer like flat, but it's also not too overwhelming, right? So it's subtle enough and it still looks beautiful. All right, so through the magic of editing, we are back hours later. It has literally been 4.5 hours. So here we are, we're back. And we ended with contouring, right? Bronzing with this product. And honestly, I'm happy that we had that break, because you can see it's still on my forehead, but I feel like I'm missing a little bit on my jawline. And that could be because I also blotted. So my oils kind of broke through a little bit. Girl, I was in the kitchen making some food because I'm hungry. I was meeting with a flooring person to do a quote to do my floors. I was in a meeting with a client going over their product. So your girl has been doing some things. So you can see how some of these products have been wearing. Foundation wears well. Again, I have a full video on the foundation itself, so if you want to see a wear test and all that. And that's without powder. So I didn't even powder yet, because that was going to be our next step. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more of the contour shade. I adjusted my lighting just a little bit so it's not too harsh on this side and you can actually see the color. So it came down a little bit further, but that's fine. We can fix that with powder. Girl, why my doctor called me? That's another thing. Woo, child. I have been scheduled for induction because they're like, girl, they're like, due to your age. I'm like, due to my age, sir, excuse me. Due to your age, we're going to induce labor by this date because we don't want you to go over. I'm like, they're like, we don't want to risk the complications that can come. So we'd rather induce if the baby doesn't make an appearance on their own by then. I'm like, wait a minute. So I have 2 weeks to get my floors done, to get my walls done, painted, and everything finalized, do a full house cleaning before baby comes. Car seat installed, hospital bag packed, bassinet set up, clothing washed and folded, okay? Bottles all washed, sanitized, and stored. I'm ready. All my things are ready. Mentally, am I ready? Not really. Physically, am I ready? Yes, because I am about done. Okay, eviction notice is, it's on. Get out of here. I mean, this kid, whoo, they are right about that last trimester. You want this kid out. I pee so often. I'm sick of it. All right, time for a powder. Let's not get into the baby mode. Let's talk about this powder from About Face. So About Face, we use their foundation. Like I said, full review, but you saw that I've been wearing this for 4.5 hours now. Wears really well, looks good on my oily skin. I think the coverage is a proper medium, but it feels lightweight. It looks really good on my skin. The skin tone match is great as well. It doesn't look heavy, cakey, and it even holds up without powder. So I'm just saying, this foundation is a good one. So when they released the powder, I was like, let me find out. Let me get some of this in my life, because so far I've had a good experience with their products, and they're not doing run-of-the-mill products, right? They're doing fun items, fun colors. They're mixing it up while still building their core collection. So I really appreciate what the brand is bringing to the table. It's not one of those, oh, here we are, cash grab. It's still a cash grab, let's be honest. Any brand is a cash grab at this point, but they're actually being a little bit more thoughtful with their releases. Anyway, this is the powder. It is the Curtain Call Set and Smooth Loose Powder. There are 6 natural shades and then 1 light pink. I'm wondering if they're going to come out with other brightening shades, because pink seems to be the color of the season. Like, everybody has a pink powder. And don't get me wrong, I was against the pink powder for a while, but I see the vision now, so I might vibe with a pink powder. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So $21, and we have 10 grams or 0.35 ounces, typical size of a loose powder at $21. And I think About Face you can probably use coupons on. Don't quote me on that one, but they're available at Ulta. It says it's a lightweight powder that sets makeup plus smooth skin for a soft focus finish with up to 10 hours of breathable wear. Super fine loose powder that doesn't look cakey and provides a shine-free and soft matte finish. It's formulated with more natural alternatives and skin-loving ingredients, so it helps reduce shine for a velvety, smooth look and feel. 7 skin toning plus inclusive shades. All right, we're gonna see. And it's infused with oil balancing rice powder plus a corn-based organic talc alternative for a cleanly formulated, shine-free and smooth finish. The shade I picked up is Draped, and Draped is actually in the medium shade, so there are 3 shades darker than this. There's like a caramelly shade that I thought maybe would work, but I'm like, that looks so orange or even yellow, and it says it's a deep brightener, so you can use that shade specifically because of that yellow undertone. So Morphe brush again, I'm telling you, these Morphe brushes be doing it. This one is the 105. It's like a foundation brush, but I'm using it for powder because it works too, because it's domed and dense. I don't mean to be pushing the Morphe brushes, but get on it, okay? Don't sleep on these Morphe brushes because of the history of Morphe. They're in different hands now, and I feel like this for sure is a product I can get into. Well, a series of products, because they have, oh, they're so good. I'm sorry, they're so good. So just pouncing that powder all over my face. It's very finely milled. Again, not the first time I'm using this powder, so I already know it's super fine, doesn't look cakey, sets the skin. It's kind of a natural finish, not too matte, it doesn't look too dry. And I was afraid of that with the cornstarch. I was like, oh God, it's not talc, but it's cornstarch, and cornstarch can be a little dry. No, this is nice. It is a nice powder for sure. Let's see, turn the lights down. And the shade works well on my skin. Right? I think I'm gonna try to do a little contour using the Rare Beauty thing. But try to do a little contour on my nose. You think I can do it? Here's another Morphe brush, the 132, the M132. It's a concealer brush, but because of the shape, it's similar to the Singe Beauty brush. and a couple of other brushes on the market that are shaped like this. But it's that little curved angular shape, like the FO2 from Singe. It's slightly bigger, a little rounder at the top, and a little stiffer. I feel like I have so many of these kinds of brushes in my collection, but they all have a slight difference in shape. They're not all identical. And I feel like that little difference in the shape actually affects what I use it for. So the Morphe one works for a lot of things, from concealer to eyeshadow bases to contouring in precise areas like my nose. So I really like it. Like I said, I've really been enjoying these brushes. So remember when I said you can use the Kosas brightener as like a little bit of a highlighter? I'm gonna do that right here. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm just going to brighten up the bridge of my nose between the contour lines that we just created. So it will show a little bit more definition. You see that? And look how natural it looks. You see? Like, hello girl. Cute, cute. Okay, we have a blush. A blushy blush. So what blush do you think I have? Y'all already know. You saw it in the thumbnail. It's my friend Urban Decay. So this is the Face Bond Long Lasting Blush Suede. All these brands with these long ass names, like they're putting every word they can find in their vocabulary into the naming of their products. I'm like, really? So these are $24 a piece. There are 7 shades available. We have some orangey, corally shades, we have pinks, and we have a couple of berries. I feel like nude blushes though are making a comeback, so we're gonna probably see more of these. $24, which is a decent price point considering. And we have 5 grams or 0.17 ounce of product. This shade is Sunset and Vine. It is described as a deep tangerine. I would actually go with a orange watermelon. I'm just saying, it looks like a watermelon shade. Tangerine, I feel like should be a little bit more orange. This has a lot of coral and red to it. Does not match with the picture on Sephora. Let's see what the picture on Ulta looks like. Yeah, it looks way more orange in these pictures versus what it actually looks like. There's a lot more red to it. A bit more like watermelon coral than true orange. Which I don't mind because these colors I vibe with. I also have Slow Burn. So Slow Burn is described as a warm coral. Now, this looks more pink to me. This looks more coral. So the descriptions are throwing me off, but here we are. I know not a lot of people love... What color should we use? Now that I'm looking at it. Maybe we should use the Slow Burn shade. I'm gonna use this brush to apply it, which is a Sydney Grace brush. Now, again, not my first time wearing this blush. It does fade if you apply it on top of powder, like a powdered base, versus applying it over your cream or liquid product, because then it has something to grab to. But I really love how it applies. It's like this blurred finish for real. Doesn't look dry, not on my skin anyway, but it just looks like one with the skin. It does look like a suede, but it fades a bit. And I have a problem with blushes fading on my skin. My oily skin eats blush. And again, if I apply it over powder like I'm doing right now, it tends to fade a little bit. And that means like within 2 hours, within an hour or two actually, it will fade. Just keep that in mind. These apply better over like a cream or a liquid product before you powder. But so far so good. I think the price point for Urban Decay is not too bad, because you see a lot of blushes on the market that are in the $30 range. And I feel like 24 is manageable. The packaging, I've heard people say, is cheap. I don't feel that way. I like the packaging. I can see the color and it matches their single eyeshadows. I don't know what people expect anymore from makeup. Like, there's so much out there. The competition is strong. So it's like there's so much expectation from brands to just be the ultimate. And I'm like, it's a blush in a cute little package. You're fine. I've heard it compared to the Tower 28 packaging. Tower 28, I guess because of the purple, but Urban Decay has been doing purple too since forever, so I don't know. Lips. Do I have a new lip? Yes, I do. Oh, you know what I have that I kind of want to try out, and judge me, but judge me kindly, okay? My dumbass picked up the Lisa Eldridge concealer pencils. This is a, I don't want to call it a stupid product. I think Lisa is very deliberate. Yeah, we're on a first name basis. I think Lisa Eldridge is very deliberate in her releases. They're thought out. They match her brand, her style of makeup application. So I don't think it's a stupid product for her, but I feel like it's a product that the consumer didn't necessarily need. It's meant to be a pinpoint concealer. So it's in a pencil form, a twist up pencil, which works perfectly for the formula. I heard people say that they don't like twist ups. They wanted this to be a sharpenable pencil. And I'm gonna ask them this question. Does that make sense to you? Before you make a request about a product's delivery system, ask yourself if it makes sense for the product. Because it don't make sense. It don't make sense that she would put this in a sharpenable pencil. It does not need to be a stiff, dry formula, which you kind of need for a sharpenable pencil. Hence, lip liners that are more long-lasting, long-wearing tend to be in a sharpenable pencil. Makes sense, right? It's a drier, long-wearing formula. A concealer, on the other hand, needs to be moist. Yes, I use that word, but it needs to be more emollient. An emollient product in a sharpenable pencil, you're gonna lose a ton of product. You're gonna lose a lot of product when you sharpen it. Is that what you want? You're already not getting a ton of product. So think to yourself, okay? Have you ever tried like an eyeshadow crayon or a lip crayon that's in a sharpenable package versus one that's twist up? The formulations are different, okay? Okay? The formulation in a sharpenable pencil needs to be more stable, a little bit tighter, a little bit more dense, a little less emollient. And we don't want that from a concealer. Think before you talk, please. Think first. Think about it before you start complaining. For true. So this is the micro correcting pencil from Lisa Eldridge. Contains very little product, okay, girl? It is 0.4 grams or 0.014 ounce. Tiny, tiny pencil. But being who I am and being nosy, I had to be in the know, okay? Not because I wanted to do pinpoint concealing like Lisa expects me to do, because that's her technique, that's her method. She's always done that. And anytime I see Lisa Eldridge apply makeup on people, I'm just like, I would like Lisa to do my makeup. I don't like other people doing my makeup at all. I had my makeup done for my maternity shoot. I was like, oh no, I'll come with my makeup done. And the photographer was like, no. She don't know who I am, right? She's like, no. We have a makeup artist that comes in and does the makeup because they know what we need for photo shoots and da-da-da. Little does she know that I also know, right? But anyway, the makeup artist did the makeup. When me tell her, say, it never bad enough. It was a cute little setup. You want to see some maternity pictures? Want to see some belly? Cute little makeup, simple. I could have done this makeup. I could have done it better. My skin looked awful at the end of the day because the products that she used settled into every pore, every crevice, and I feel like that didn't even work for the photo shoot because every crevice of the corner of my mouth show. You see when we done smile and every smile line and every wrinkle and every crease. Terrible. I could do a better job with my product than me have, but she insists. Make she go on. I don't like people do my makeup. If Lisa was doing my makeup though, I'd be all about it. But let's try the pencil. Here's why I got this concealer. Not for pinpoint concealing, because I really don't have that problem, but I really got it for around my mouth. You see around my mouth, I have darkness, and I feel like I can use this to kind of precisely conceal and then give me like a crisper line. Do you see that? To my lip shape. That's what I bought it for. That's what I think is the most beneficial for how I do my makeup. And there are not a lot of products that you can do this with. Alright? You usually use like a liquid concealer and like a brush to create that effect. But I feel like the pencil application allows me to do this a little bit more precisely. So that's why I got it. And you'll see what I mean. Especially with like a red lip. This is gonna come in clutch to clean up the lip. So you see this side, darkness. This side, concealed. You see? Y'all didn't think I had any sense. But that's exactly how I wanted it to look. You see how? You see how? You see how? Alright, lips. I actually have two of the melting lip colors from Lisa Eldridge that I also picked up during the haul, and I got the little pencil case and all. I love getting her little pencil cases. This by itself I think is either 25 or 35. One of those price points, but you got it free with your purchase over a certain amount. So I was like, let me get these little lip balms and get the free pencil case. Come, I love our little pencil case them. Just her. Ooh, hold on now, hold on. I was just playing around, but I like that. Hold on, I like that a lot. Maybelline came out with these lip pencils along with some additional shades of their lip gloss. And I picked up a few of the shades. Why? Because they're pink. I don't have pink lip liners in my collection. These were Maybelline, so the price is right. And I feel like one of these colors will work. So these are the Maybelline Lifter liners. Let's use shade number 2, Let's Bounce. This is a more browny shade. Just to get a little outline. I feel like my lips, to neutralize some of the dark edges, I tend to need a lip liner of some sort. No, this Lisa Eldridge Baume though, it's so shiny. I don't think I've had one of these twist up little lip balm, melted balm things between Fenty and MAC and Tarte and all of them be this shiny without being too melty, because this feels a little stiffer. It's not melting all over the place, but look at the shine that it's giving. Ooh, and you know what I mean by melting all over the place. Those other lip products, it's like they melt on contact and it's just a mess. The Botox is so lacking right here. Whoo, girl, look. Whoo! And it leaves that line. It's fine. We're aging gracefully. All right, let's go ahead, finish up the eyes. I think I'm gonna put some lashes on, lower lash mascara, and we'll be back to finish up the video. All right, guys, we are back. I changed my outfit. Ooh, not the pregnancy boobs. Listen, okay? My boobs did not grow. They did not grow. My band size got bigger, but my cup size, girl, we will see. Anyway, here is the final look. Let me tell you what I did. So I left off with like one side of my lip using the concealer pencil, the Pinpoint guy here. I finished it up on the other side, just so you know I did, okay? I did. I popped some lashes on, lower lash mascara, and a little black liner. These lips. All right, we're gonna get to the lips last. Let's start out from the top. Let's talk about the products, what we think. I already gave you some initial impressions during the application, during all that, so I'm not gonna dwell on all the products, just the ones that we need a little bit more feedback on. So starting with moisturizer, the Nutritious Airy Lotion. I really like this. I actually have this in my hospital bag. I know. This is the moisturizer I'm taking with me because it is lightweight. Again, all the good things that I said, it feels good on the skin, and I feel like it works well under makeup. It gives me just the right amount of hydration. And if I'm gonna do a quick little face at the hospital, I'm gonna use this guy. I like it so far. The price point, not the cheapest, it's Estee Lauder. No fragrance that I can discern. Maybe there is some fragrance, but very light, if any. I really like this guy for my oily skin. And if it does all the things it says it does with pores and oiliness, great. But to me, it doesn't create any additional oiliness on my skin. So love that for me. The eyeshadow, next thing we did. Whoo! All right. I have mixed thoughts. The eyeshadow applied really beautifully. Like, come on. This is stunning, okay? But we did use another product from Victoria Beckham, which is the Mink Single Eyeshadow, to get that added shine. Now, is that a pro or a con? You tell me. The shimmer eyeshadow in the actual palette is more subdued. It's not as shiny, not as sparkly, so you're not gonna get as much oomph. The mattes, beautiful, applied so beautifully. Minimal to no fallout from these eyeshadows. They kick up a little bit in the pan, but once they're applied, I didn't get any fallout all over my face. The only fallout I got was from Mink. So I had some sparse sparkles all over my face, had to clean that up. But that's where the fallout came from. Minimal from the actual palette itself. And I feel like this is a look that I could wear for a date night. This is definitely an easy date night look for me. Based on my complexion, this shade selection is not too deep, right? But it's still gonna give you a smoky eye. When I tell you I am in love with this eyeshadow look, I love a taupe, I love a smoky eye. So, of course, I'm going to love it. Will you love it? Are you darker than me? Are you lighter than me? If you're lighter than me and you prefer a more natural daytime, everyday look, this compact is not going to be for you. This quad is not going to serve its purpose for you. But if you're more on the sultry side of things, like you prefer a little sexy little baba voom, then yes, ma'am. I really love the look, and I don't mind that the shimmer is a little bit more subtle because I can amp it up if I want to, or I can leave it subtle, which I prefer a subtle shade. Now, $75. It's a lot of money to spend on 4 eyeshadows. I don't care how good they are. That's a steep price point. But it's a price point that I kind of expect from Victoria Beckham, but also at the same time not really, because the original quads were $65. So for this bump in price, I know everything's going up, but girl, $75? I am low-key tempted to get another one for the $50, but I prefer to have my products in individual compacts. So I don't know, and even the other color stories don't appeal to me. The blue one is a little intriguing just because I love blue, but I feel like the most popular is going to be this Victoria quad right here because it is the most neutral. The other one we have is a greeny olive and then the smoky palette, which is fine. It's cute. I just don't think it's worth $75. Victoria Beckham Beauty barely goes on sale. I was surprised I was able to get the other quads on sale, but that's because they were discontinuing them. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm not mad at the quad, but I can't with all good conscience say $75 is worth it. If it's within your budget, though, I really like it. I like it. Okay, that's like the split decision that you have to make on your own. That's not my business, all right? But I like it. The intense sparkle you're not gonna get though, so keep that in mind. Not with the shimmer shade. You gotta get mink for that to get more sparkle. But if you apply the shade in the quad with your fingertip or like damp, you can amp up the sparkle a little bit. So, all right, enough of that. I like the quad. I don't think it's worth the price. The foundation, I already have a full video. I'm not gonna get into it. I like the foundation. The color corrector concealer combo. Let's talk about that. These Kosas little brighteners. I really like these, especially given how my under eyes are looking lately. I have such dark under eyes from being pregnant and not sleeping, pretty much. The dark under eyes are, they're attacking me, girl. And also the darkness is hereditary because of my South Asian heritage, that side of my family. Dark under eyes, that's just a part of the game. And I feel like these color corrector brighteners are really doing their job. What I really like about the formula is that it's a little drier, which can sound terrible, right? It's like, what? It's dry? No, it's not dry. It's drier than like an emollient concealer. So it holds on to the pigmentation. It gives you the brightening effect. It definitely camouflages those shadows. And wearing it under a concealer, it's a vibe. I really like it. So this side is the peach, this side is the pink. I feel like they both did the same thing. The pink is a little bit brighter. And that also depends on the powder that you use to set it. It's going to settle into lines if you have lines, okay? It's not crease proof. Right now it's crease proof because I set it with powder. But overall, I just love the effect. And because of that drier formula, it doesn't overspread. But a little goes a long way. So don't use a lot of it. I will warn you right now, tiny, tiny taps, okay? It will go a long way. It's better applied with a brush than a sponge or your fingers. Just use your fingers, tap it out, or use a brush, because the sponge kind of makes it a little splotchy. I don't like how the sponge applies it and blends it. The brush is your best bet. I really like it. And like I said, I really need it now, so I really love it. I would stick to the peach for my complexion. The pink is not bad. I'll still get use out of it. Like, I'm not going to return it. I think it has a place, and I can swap between the two. It's not a big deal. But the pink is going to be a little ashier. But if you cover a concealer, still going to give that brightening, lifting effect. And if you top it with like a pink under eye powder, it's going to be even more lifting and brightening. So really like these color correctors. Let's talk about the Singe Beauty brushes, since we were using these for our eyeshadow application. So there are 5 new eye brushes. Again, these were sent in PR. I am friendly with Angelica. I do support her brand, but I'm gonna be honest with you with the brush shapes and how functional they are for me. The concealer brush, which is the E09, I am not gonna get a lot of use out of this because it's a little bit too floppy. With this shape of brush, I need it to be a little bit stiffer for what I would use it for. Depending on what you're using this for, that may be a pro or a con for you. For me, it's a con because it's not stiff enough for the precision that I would use this shape of brush for. If you're using it to lay down concealer, sure. I don't know how it's gonna blend though. So this brush is kind of like, it's cute, but it's not doing what I need it to do. This fluffy blending shader brush, it's a nice versatile brush. I think it's my favorite of the bunch, but you're just gonna get a wash of color on the lid. This is not gonna give you the intensity or density of a shader brush. If you want to like really lay down color, you would need it to be a little stiffer, but it works as it's a multi-purpose brush in a pinch. You can lay down, you can blend with it. But again, if you're looking for intense color payoff from like a shimmer shadow, it's not gonna pick up and lay down color as intensely. But if you're looking for a wash of color or you're looking to blend, then it's great. I think it's a nice brush to add to my collection, and I will get use out of it. So I do like this brush. It's the E08. The E10, which is the domed blending brush. It's a little bit larger than the pencil brush, which is the E11. So we have the two, a smaller one and a larger one. I like this one for that precise outer V. I think this will come in really handy for placement for smoky looks where I have a dark color, but I don't want it to go everywhere. So I want to apply precise color, or I want to blend under the lash line. This is a nice precise blending brush, and I enjoy having this. And it's small enough that you can use it on the inner tear duct as well if you want a little bit of it, you know? Little bullet style brush. It's large enough and small enough at the same time. So I like this brush as well. I think it's a great addition to the line. Then we have the real pencil brush, which is again the E11. Again, precision work under the lash line, inner tear duct, that precision work. You can also use it to lay down a little color in the outer V and then blend. So again, nice addition to the collection. It rounds out things, you know, she has now a pencil brush. I think this is cute. So those three brushes, the two pencil style brushes, I think are the best ones. These are the ones I would recommend. If you do liner, you might want an angled liner. I didn't use this one in the video because I just don't do liner. I don't do gel liner anymore. I don't do a wing liner. If you're looking for a liner brush, this is a bent fine point liner brush. It's not too fine. I am sure it works well. I'm just not looking for a brush like this. So 2 out of the 3 brushes not really gonna fit in my collection, but the other 3 definitely I will get use out of them. All right, where are we at? The bronzer liquid thing from Rare Beauty. This little guy, ooh girl, I really like this. I really like the KVD one as well. I just put it to the side because the brand is the brand is the brand. But this little Rare Beauty one, I like the shade first. And I like the formula second, okay? The formula is thin, so it doesn't disturb everything else around it. And it doesn't add too much greasiness or anything to my oily skin. So it's almost like a water gel that blends in really easily, really effortlessly. It's thin enough that it melts into the skin, but not too thin where it just blends away to nothingness. It just blends in with the skin. It's kind of like a seamless transition from your foundation to a contour bronzer. I like this, and I like the shade that I got, which is Serene. I think it works really well. It's not obvious, right? You see the dimension, right? But it's not obvious I'm wearing bronzer. So it just works. It just works, and it's not overly pigmented. So I feel like, depending on the shade you pick up for your complexion, I feel like you're in good shape because it's not gonna be too much of a hassle to really blend out into that seamless transition, right? Yeah, I like it, and I think the price point's pretty decent too. Get a decent amount of product, great formula. Again, it doesn't disturb anything else, doesn't pick up anything else, which I don't expect it to because it's liquid and it's gonna melt with liquids and creams. So really like that one. What else did we use? The powder from About Face. I have used this powder 2 times now. I've used it under the eye only and then all over the face. And I like it both ways. The price point is great. I think the shades are decent as well. Nice shade range. Does it make me completely matte? No. Which is a pro or a con depending on where you're coming from. For me, I like a matte powder because I have oily skin, so I prefer to be more matte with my setting powders. But this one is matte enough where it's pretty. Like, look at my face right now. It's pretty without being dry looking or cakey looking. It's a finely milled powder, so it never builds up to cake face. And I think that's perfect. The shade also, it's translucent enough where it doesn't add coverage, too much coverage, where I'm gonna see the color on my skin, right? It doesn't change the foundation color like a lot of tinted powders can. It's just a good powder. It's a good powder. I really like the powder, and yeah, I think it looks good on the skin. Like, look at my skin. It doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look cakey. It just looks good. It looks good. And I mean, I'm using it with their foundation, so maybe there's something to that, but I really like the powder. The blushes from Urban Decay, like I said, they work better over cream or liquid without setting it with powder first. They fade a bit over powder. You can tell it's already fading a little bit, but the color is still there, but it's just a hint of color. So, is it the best blush I've tried? No. It applies really well. It looks really good on the skin. I love the finish. Even though it's a matte, it's like a natural matte. The colors are nice. The colors I picked up are flattering on my skin. I like the shade range. I hope they add more nudes. But is it a blush that I would say is so different from everything else on the market? No. I've tried better blushes with better longevity, which would be my Dior blushes and my Armani blushes. Those have a lot of longevity on my cheeks, the Dior especially. So I've had blushes that just have longer lasting power than these, but I like these enough. I just don't think they're a standout product necessarily, but it's a good addition to Urban Decay's lineup because I think they did away with their blushes and they haven't had a blush in their lineup since then. So it's cute. It's just not, oh my god, blowing me away, but they're cute. And again, I know that Urban Decay needed a blush to add to their lineup, and if they want to add it under the Face Bond name, hey, I'm with it. Cute. The little Pinpoint concealer pencil from Lisa Eldridge. Y'all wanted me to rag on this, didn't you? I didn't buy it for the purpose that Lisa intended it for, and I'm okay with it. For what I am going to use it for what I think is the best use for me, I like it. Because it gives me, you see the precision around my lip line? Cute, 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 cute. I think this is a product that's very specific to Lisa Eldridge though, and her style of makeup. I think it's cute, but no cigar. And it's pricey as hell. This is $30-something for a pencil of concealer. No. Unless you do that pinpoint concealing that Lisa does, you can just use your regular concealer with a fine point brush. You can even use the Angie brush, her liner brush, to do that pinpoint concealing. I mean, you can learn the technique over at Lisa Eldridge's YouTube channel. So, but it just fast enough. I want to try it. So I found the use that I want for it, and I actually like it because it was something that I kind of had missing from my application method of makeup. I'm always trying to use like regular concealer and create that little outline, and now I have something that makes it a little easier for me. So for me, it's functional. For you, it will not be. And for me, the $30 was kind of worth it, but not really at the same time. So I would say, unless you're going to use it the way Lisa intends you to use it, because that's just how you apply your makeup, or you found a way that it makes sense for you, I really don't think it's worth it. I really don't. I mean, nobody needs to tell you that. It's just, you know, what do you want me to say? It's overpriced. It's a pencil click up little tiny concealer pencil that costs $30-something. I can't wait to see the other formulations that Lisa is going to debut, because she did say this is kind of the first one that came out. It's the one that was ready to go, but she has others in the pipeline. So those I'm looking forward to. I love the little pencil case. That was a free gift of purchase. I love that. And then the little lip balm thing here. I really like this, but geez, I'm gonna have to apply this like non-stop, and then it's bleeding outside of the lines. Oh Lord. I mean, but that comes with the territory with these melting balm things, right? They melt and go everywhere. But look how pretty that is, right? With the little Maybelline lip liner, which is another thing. I think the Maybelline lip liner is cute. I would apply that before the lip balm thing, because I feel like it would help with the bleeding. But it's just, here we are. But the Maybelline lip liners I think are cute. And the price point, you can get coupons and like get a discount. So the lip liners are cute. But this lip balm, really pretty, really glossy. But I expect to apply it every 5 seconds, because I barely did anything and it's gone. But look how pretty it is. Look how pretty it is. All right, what else did we use? Nothing else. The Morphe brushes, like I said, I have a full video coming up, so you'll see that. Other than that, yeah, we're done. We're done. What do you think? Which of these products are you the most interested in, if any? Which one impressed you the most? Which one surprised you the most in this video? And which one disappointed you, right? You were like, I thought that was gonna do better. Let me know. I will leave a full list of all the products mentioned and used in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If there's an asterisk next to any of those links, that indicates that it is an affiliate link, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through that link. Gives me a kickback, doesn't change the sale price, but I get a little bit of a commission for you using my links. It's a great way to show your support for the channel, because again, if you're gonna buy the stuff anyway, why not use my links? I'm just saying, no pressure, but I really appreciate if you do use my links. I also have channel memberships and YouTube thanks if you want to give me a little kickback that way as well. But I'm just happy you're here watching, enjoying the videos. I'm about to pop, so I'm trying to get a few more videos in the pipeline before I have a screaming baby next to me. So wish me luck, guys. This will be probably one of my last videos, because like I said, I am about to be induced in about 2 weeks. So fingers crossed. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, the kind comments. You guys are awesome. You rock. Don't ever change. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.